So, hello everyone. Today I'll be showing you a few signs about the times of the year. So, days of the week, months of the year, and seasons. So first of all, time is time. Take your X sign in your left hand and face that downwards. Then take your pointy finger in your right hand and then tap your wrist. It's as if you're tapping your watch for asking for the time or something. So, time. And then you have day, which would you take your left hand and bend it back from your elbow and put that down, and then take your right hand with your pointy finger again, touch your left hand with your right elbow and bring your right hand down. Day. And then daily or everyday is daily or everyday, like that. You put your hand into a fist, then stick your thumb out a bit, like you're doing the thumbs up thing, and then brush it against your face, going from the top of your jaw to your chin. So, everyday or daily. For the days of the week, the signs are all in the same pattern, except for Sunday, in which you take the first letter of the day and then face your palm to yourself and then shake it. First off, Monday, take your M sign in your right hand, in your dominant hand, and then twist it a little bit. So, don't go full on like that, because then the people in front of you can't really see. So you put your 3 fingers up a bit and shake it. Monday. There are also people who sign it the other way and face their palm towards outwards, and so it will be Monday. But I just personally prefer it this way. It's a more common way to do it, so Monday. And then for Tuesday, you take your T sign in your right hand and twist it. Tuesday. So just see, got my T hand, just twist it. Tuesday. And then for Wednesday, you take your W sign in your right hand and then twist it. Wednesday. And then Thursday, it's a bit different because obviously you've already got Tuesday with the T. So take your H sign and you put it upright more and be tilted a bit and then twist that. Thursday. And then Friday, you take your F sign in your dominant hand and twist it. Friday. And then for Saturday, take your S hand and twist. Saturday. That's why for Monday you need to stick up your fingers, because otherwise it could be easily confused with Saturday. So, Saturday. And then for Sunday, there are also a couple of ways of doing this sign. The first way is putting your palms out to your audience, both palms, and then go in circles outwards. Sunday. Or you can go Sunday, where you just put your hands up a bit higher first and then down a bit. Sunday or Sunday. Firstly, for week, you put your left palm facing upwards, and you take your pointy finger in your right hand and brush your the fist part on your palm. So, week. And then for weekly, you just repeat that action a few times. So, weekly. For weekend, you take your week sign and then make your hand flat, like so, and then put it off the side of your left hand. So it's marking the end of your hand, I suppose. So it's like week, then end. Week, end. And then for yesterday, you take maybe a good job in your right hand and touch your bit to the right of your chin first, and then to the top of your jaw. So, yesterday. And then today, you do the sign for now, which is now, and then day. So like now, day. For tomorrow, you would take a good job hand again and go from the to the bit right of your chin and then brush outwards. So as if you're going forward into the future. So tomorrow, and then for month, you take make a pointy finger with your little fist in your left hand and face it outwards. Then you take your pointy hand as well and point to the left in your right hand, and then brush your left finger top to bottom. Month. And when you want to say monthly, you just, again, like week, you just repeat that sign a few times. So, monthly. Month. Monthly. And then, when you do the months of the year, you do it mostly in the same form. You do them all in the same sort of pattern. We take the sign for the first letter of the month and put it over your left hand, like so, and then bring it to the other side where you do the third letter of the month. So this makes sense really, because the word for calendar is you put your left hand into a palm and face it to the right, and then put your right hand into a C sign and put it to the left of your left hand first, and bring it over to the right, as if you're flicking pages of the calendar. So, calendar. And then for the months, you'd put the first letter of the month on this side, and then the third letter, or there are a few irregulars, and the third letter for most of them on the right. So first off, for January, you do the J sign over here, and bring your N sign over here. So January. And then February, you do your F sign over here, and then bring down your B. February. And then for March, you take your M sign over here, and then your R sign over here. So March. And then for April, this is an irregular one. For April, you take your A hand over here, take your L hand over here. April. And then for May, take your M hand over here, Y hand over here. May. And then for June, this is one of the irregular ones again. So over here, you take your J hand, and then E. June. And then for July, you take your J hand over here, Y hand over here. July. And then for August, follows the same pattern, it's continuous, so A to G. August. And then September, this is one of the regular ones again, and you take your S hand over here, T hand over here. September. Then October, you take your O hand over here, T hand over here. October. Then November, N hand over here, V hand over here. November. And then finally December, D hand over here, C hand over here. December. And now you have year. You take your S hands in both hands, put your left one on the bottom, put your right one on top, and then circle your right hand forward around your left hand, and then bring it up again, and then hit it on top again. So, year. And then to say last year, flick back a couple times, flick back around your shoulder. So you flick out your pointy finger. So this is the action you do of your shoulder. So, last year. So saying that was in the past, last year. When you want to say 3 years ago, you take your year sign and then put however number of years ago, for instance 3. So you take your year sign and then 3. 3 years ago. 4 years ago. 2 years ago. And then when you're talking about next year, you take your sign for year and then point and bring it round. Bring your right hand round and point between forward and to the left. So, yeah. Next year. And when you want to say in 2 years' time or 3 years' time or so on, for 2 years' time, year, and then point in the same direction but with 2 fingers instead. So, in 2 years, in 3 years, in 4 years, and so on. And when you want to say annually, it's in the same sort of format as the year. You bring your fists down, then when they touch, flick out your pointy finger. So, annually. So, in sign language, it's important to have time indicators at the beginning of the sentence so that your audience or whoever you're talking to knows when this event happened or will happen. So, past is simply past. Like just put everything over your shoulder. It's already happened. It's in the past. Past. And then present is simply now. So that's sort of where the sign for today comes from. So today, so you've got that present sort of feel. So present. And then you've got in the future, where you take your palm facing the left and bring it from around your ear, not touching your ear, just around it, and forward. So it's going to happen. It's in front of you. Future. And then for the seasons, you first have the word for season, where, like with the months of the year, you have your left hand in front of you, pointing to the right, and you take your S hand in your right hand, the S sign, and then put it to your palm and circle it around, going forward and then back around, and then hitting it. So, season. Season. And then you have winter, where you can take your 2 W signs in both hands, face them together, but in front of your chest, and then bring them in a bit. Because the word for cold in sign language, you take your fists and bring them together as if you're cold. So winter is like cold, it's like a cold season, so W and cold. Winter. And then for spring, sign language is very visual, so spring is like a time of growth and stuff. So you make your left hand into a bit of a C and bring your hand through and go from being in a fist to out into a palm. Like it's like stuff's growing, like spring. Because this is also the word for plant as well, so spring. And then for summer, you take your pointy finger to the left on your forehead, bring it to the right, making your your pointy finger into a X. Summer. Summer. Finally for autumn, you'd put your left hand in a bit of a diagonal, pointing to the upper right, and it's as if it's like a fallen tree, think of it, how in autumn leaves fall from a fallen tree. So, and then you put your right hand in front of your elbow and pat a couple times. So, autumn. So if you're maybe patting leaves that have fallen off the tree, perhaps. So, autumn. Autumn. So that's everything. That was the days of the week, months of the year, and seasons for you. I really hope you enjoyed my video and you've learned some sign language from it. And please continue watching my other videos. Bye.